also thought of the fact that the Ministry of Constitutional Affairs on the island, that has been scrapped. And there's an ongoing conversation right now on the island about the constitutional reform, that whole process. But they are telegraphing to us already that they're not serious about it. And then, so I'm thinking to myself, what do we do now? The Prime Minister is a member of the Privy Council. The opposition leader says, who just gave up his British citizenship the other day, says, the constitutional reform for him and for the opposition party is predicated on the getting rid of the that whole system and going to the Caribbean Court of Justice. Why does it appear as if there is a fight against it? Why is there a question about whether or not if you get rid of King Charles and that pedophilic cabal from being head of state of this nation, why is there such a conflict and contention around getting rid of it all, including the Court of Appeal and Privy Council and whatever else comes with it? Why is there a question about that? And I think that is a question we need to answer. We've been trying to answer it. I can answer, but we've been trying to get answers from the legal fraternity here on the island and civic and the activists and academia and so on over the years. And I don't think anybody really know. I think, if they know, they're not saying. And the only people who know are the inner circle of those who are privy to the thinking of Edward Seaga and them, because it's the very same thing, it's the very same conversation. So they need to tell us the truth. Tell the people the truth. We've been treading on the wine press for much too long. And we probably need to demand the truth about constitutional reform on this island. Because it looked like them want it and them fooled way into thinking they wanted it. But every barrier that they have been putting in place tells me that none of them want it. And then we have to go back to out of many one people and the 5% who don't really want it either. But why? So in this Heritage Month, I think no other time more than right now, we really need to look closely at the Jamaican heritage. Called the Jamaican heritage. It's not just African heritage. It's a majority of the people. But Jamaica's heritage is also the enslavers. It's the buccaneers who were enslavers, but them call them buccaneers. And that is why during Heritage Month, those who are descendants of the enslavers called buccaneers can plan a whole week of activities celebrating pedophilia, celebrating the rape of children, the massacre of women, the violent sexual attacks against black women. Because that is what buccaneering was about in Port Royal. Henry Morgan, for example, owned 2 or 3, probably 3 or 4 plantations. I'm talking about slave plantations. Sometimes we use the word slave because we want everybody to understand. So they owned, Henry Morgan himself owned plantations in Jamaica in which he enslaved women and children. And the research is clear, the information is clear. It's not so long ago. What they were doing there was so wicked that Mother, Father, God, and all the ancestors put it under the sea. They said it was an earthquake. So Heritage Week and Heritage Month and the celebration of Jamaica's heritage is about to slap us in the face. It's about to slap us in the face. We saw this coming a long time because, remember, we've had conversation about who we are as a people when we talk about the out of many one, whose heritage is foregrounded and when and where and how. But here we are. Here we are. Because we have to Kupi Bly. Kupi Bly is a multi-award winning gospel artist from Kampala, Uganda. He is celebrated as one of the leading voices in Ugandan gospel music, blending dancehall, reggae, Afrobeat, and faith-driven messages. He has released hit songs such as Sida Mukialo, Niweza, Gotta Love, Wakayima, No Touching, and No God. Since his breakthrough, Kupi Bly has consistently earned top honors, including Gospel Artist of the Year, Song of the Year, and Video of the Year. His music is both energetic and profound, addressing truth, justice, and social issues with biblical depth. Known for his high energy performances, he has toured widely across Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia. He has collaborated with artists from Jamaica, Nigeria, America, Zambia, Kenya, and more. His latest album is called Action Talk, and it has received critical acclaim for its lyrical strength and production. The Action Talk concert at the Lugogo Hockey Grounds attracted a massive audience and reinforced his reputation as a powerhouse performer. He's on the island. Beyond music, he's committed to youth empowerment. He's a founder of Yimba Uganda, a non-profit that equips young people with vocational skills, and leads Backyard Music, which is a production house nurturing emerging talent in music and arts. And we're standing by to speak with Kupi Bly. Lots happening around town because in Madagascar, for example, there's an ongoing situation now that we're watching because, across the world we have, and we see that in Kenya recently, where young people, Gen Zs, and it's interesting because I've said many times here, but we still use it. We know it's a marketing term, right? It's something that marketers use to sell them products. Gen Z, Gen X, baby boomers, and so on and so forth. But the demonstration, that massive demonstration in Kenya that caused the Kenyan government to roll back price increases and a lot of the policies they were about to put in last year, that was led by young people, and they started talking about the Gen Zs leading these kinds of protests. And now we see in Nepal recently, where a similar protest happened, causing the entire government to resign, opposition, and everybody just were forced out. The government houses were burnt, the palaces were burnt, people were dragged out of their homes. Young people who were so oppressed for so long, that hurt and anger and that betrayal that they felt spilled over into the streets, and they burnt everything. And we see it coming up in Indonesia, but so many places across the world. And they're calling them now Gen Z protests. We see one underway now in Madagascar, where they've come right out and said this is being led by Gen Zs, and they are demanding that, do I have the information here? All right, the Madagascar president is ignoring the calls, we understand. Al Jazeera is reporting that the president is ignoring calls for his resignation. And this is by the nationwide youth-led protest movement, condemning what he perceives, he says, to be a coup. It's a coup plot, he says, driven by his rivals. So that is going on in Madagascar. We're watching what's happening there. In Mogadishu, Al-Shabaab fighters, Al Jazeera is also reporting Al-Shabaab fighters killed in Mogadishu prison assault, and this report is today. All 7 attackers who stormed a major prison complex in Mogadishu in Somalia have been killed following an hours-long gun battle in the largest such assault on the capital in recent months, and this is according to the Somali government. Remember, a lot's happening in Somalia right now. Somalia is being bombed almost every day by the United States. So there is that background. And Ethiopia is hitting back at what it's calling false claims coming out of Egypt, because Egypt is saying that the GERD Dam, the Grand Renaissance Dam in Ethiopia, that it has triggered floods in Sudan by opening the gates of its Nile mega dam. And Sudan has come out to say, no, that's not true. Sudan has said this, that as a matter of fact, what's happening is that for us here in Sudan, the dam has worked to stem the flooding. So, but Egypt is saying the opposite, and Ethiopia is responding. So yesterday, Ethiopia hit back at Egypt's false claim that it had triggered floods in Sudan by opening the gates of its Nile mega dam. Addis Ababa inaugurated, as you know, the Grand Renaissance Dam, the GERD, Africa's largest hydroelectric project, in early September. Cairo has meanwhile spent more than a decade vehemently criticizing the dam over concerns that the existential threat will dry up its primary water supply, the Nile, which supplies 97% of the water it uses. So on Friday, the Egyptian Water Ministry said the dam had released enormous water quantities immediately after its inauguration, which had resulted in the flooding of agricultural lands and submersion of numerous villages in neighboring Sudan. Sudan, though, has said, no, not so. And Ethiopia's water ministry has called Egypt's statements false and defamatory, and said it's an attempt to mislead the international community. So, Ethiopia is a blue Nile, and what Ethiopia and Sudan are saying is that flooding in Sudan is due to the White Nile tributaries' rising water levels, and it has nothing to do with Ethiopia. So that is ongoing in Ethiopia and Sudan. The CEO of the GERD has said the mega dam releases water to produce energy, and there's no change in its flow. It's just regulated. That's basically what he has said. In South Africa is urging Israel to immediately free Gaza-bound flotilla activists. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa on Thursday urging Israel to immediately release South African nationals and other activists detained after the interception of humanitarian vessels bound to Gaza. An interesting thing happening there. We're paying attention to that. We're paying closer attention to what's happening in Sudan, and not just about the flooding, but the ongoing I don't even want to call it a civil war. We told you last week, this has gotten out of hand. This is the worst genocide that's happening in the world right now. It's happening in Sudan. So we're looking at Sudan, we're looking at Congo, and of course we always have in our rearview mirror Yemen. But I really do feel that Yemen is taking care of itself. And we're in this time of war just everywhere. In the Caribbean waters, we're hearing from the United States, again, that they've bombed another ship, another boat in the Caribbean waters. Very interesting, isn't it? So now we're paying attention. I don't know that we've even begun to pay attention. Because what is clear is that Trinidad, Guyana, and Jamaica are in bed with the United States in the bombing of boats in the Caribbean waters. So here we are. And this is the end of CARICOM. CARICOM is worthless. CARICOM has reached its League of Nations moment. Worthless, worth nothing, and can just disband. We see, I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back on the other side to talk about the press release we see coming out of CARICOM under Prime Minister Andrew Holness's signature, because Jamaica, of course, is heading CARICOM in this session. But look what they're talking about. Look what they're talking about. They have not yet addressed the situation of the Armada, the nuclear-powered warships and submarines in the Caribbean water, the F-35s, the bombing of boats in the Caribbean waters. It boggles the mind. It is beyond me. We are on our own. We're going to have to put ourselves in charge of ourselves and just move on. Let me take a break. So that's why I'm not playing your album, but you're going to have to do some a cappella for us this morning, I'm sure. So let me welcome to the studio. Is it Koopy Bly? Koopy Bly, huh?
Yeah.
Who is Koopy? How are you, my brother?
Very good. How are you? Thank you for having us.
Right. You're out of Uganda.
Yeah.
Kampala,
Uganda.
Yeah. When I was just a little baby child, my father had a pen pal, and his first pen pal was from Uganda.
Oh, yeah?
And I just say Kampala.
All right.
So it's like, so here we are, you know.
Yeah.
It's my brother coming in many different ways.
Oh, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, how long have you been on the island?
About a week now.
Okay. Did you come straight in from Uganda or
Yes,
via?
No. You have to fly through.
No, I don't mean, I meant, you know, did you stop? Are you on a tour or?
No, I came direct here.
Yeah. Is this your first time?
Yeah, my first time.
Why Jamaica?
I came for Sterling Gospel Music Awards.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I've always wanted to come to Jamaica, so it was a very good excuse for me to come.
All right, so we know that you're a big gospel artist, right? Highly recognized across the world and on the continent of Africa. Here in Jamaica, we're just getting to know you, right?
Yeah.
So remind, what is a song that, and we're going to start right there, what is a song that we probably would recognize from you? And as I said, I don't have your album, and this is why you're going to do a cappella.
Yeah.
About 4 or 5 before you leave here this morning.
Yeah.
So what's one of the songs that would recognize from you? And are you prepared to do a cappella at 7:07 in the morning?
Yes, sure.
There you go.
So one of the songs that introduced me to Jamaica is March On, a collabo I did with Lionel Tip. So it goes like, Machan, away Machan. We never stop till the world come down. Machan, away Machan. Make we all make the trumpet sound. Machan, away Machan. Say, we never stop till the world come down. Machan, away Machan. Yeah, make we all make the trumpet sound.
There you go. What does Machan mean?
March on.
Oh, march on.
Yes.
So, so it's all English?
Yes. It has a lot of Luganda in there for my verse.
Well, okay, so give us a little part with the...
Well, again, we should have never give up on the battle. With Christ as the general, we never lose the battle. Well, 7 times down, 7 times we get up. Man, I feel like the world cast the darkness out. Say, hey. Zikiriza mutima gwange kamfuwe kondele. Obuwanguzi mikono jange kampuwe kondere. Yeah.
All right, brilliant. Because this is the Africa Forum. We just want all African language this morning, no English.
Yeah. Right. You want me to do the interview in Luganda?
I asked in English and you answer in.
I don't know how you will ask your follow-up question. Then.
Let me try. Let me try.
All right.
So when did you start doing gospel music?
Natandika okola music kuvanga ndi muto wa miaka 12. Omwaka gwalinga 2012.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's beautiful. Listen, nobody's gonna play with me this morning. All right, tell us what you just said.
So, well, I started recording back in 2002. 2002. I was just coming out of primary school. That's when I started recording music, and I've never looked back. I had my breakthrough when I just joined the university around 2010, 2009. So that's when I had I would say my professional career kicked off then.
Right. Well, and tell us about that, because I read before in terms of your biography, talking about you being a really well-known gospel artist in Uganda, but that also and we heard it just from you now, that you infuse reggae, dancehall, and so on within the gospel music. How was that accepted, or not, to what extent, by the Christian community, as opposed to, say, youth in Uganda?
So it was a bit of a challenge at the beginning, but the reason I loved, I would say, the reggae and the dancehall is it got everybody involved. And it was a very big hook. That's what I usually like to say. And I had learned this from one of the guys here, big legends here, Papa San, who had said, when Christ calls you to be a fisherman, he doesn't give you a hook. So you use your own hook.
Yes.
And so I knew that reggae and dancehall music was big for the youth, and not very accepted in churches, but once they get hooked, and because even people who are non-Christians will just love the vibes and just love the music, and before they know, oh well, he's a gospel, he's talking about Christ somewhere in here, and they're like, they're already hooked. They can't switch off the music because they're already loving the vibe, and I think it helped that with time the church started accepting and realizing, it's not about the beats. Beats are not Christian or not. So it's the message that you preach on the beats.
And this seems to be something that Uganda, in terms of the history of Uganda, Yaya Kimpavita, who embraced Christianity, but at the same time also kept her Africanness. And so the question then to you is, we have a fight on the island here now. And I said it earlier this morning, that to be Christian is to be other than African. So Europeanized Christianity sets up the African in such a way that you have to disown yourself and devalue yourself, your religion, your practices, your knowledge, your memory, before you can be accepted as somebody who will be going to heaven. You can't go to heaven
if you're African.
It sounds simple, but it's a dangerous situation on the island here, where your rituals, your memories, just even the word African carries a negative connotation in the church. What is your can you identify with that? And how is this, because Uganda itself was colonized? And do you have the same kind of dichotomy in Uganda?
We had, but I think our culture was so deeply rooted that it was very hard for people to just give up on it. And like I said, with time, people are getting more knowledgeable and more exposed, and they are realizing, you know what? Accepting Christ and accepting Christianity doesn't mean you have to do away with being African. You can never change
What
that.
about your rituals?
Yeah, so there are some rituals that can't go very well with Christianity.
Such as?
So in our African setting, we have so many traditional rituals that are deeply rooted in, I don't know how to put it, in the African kind of worship.
African spirituality.
Yes, that are very, I would say,
that Christianity sees as demonic.
Yes.
The
Witchcraft and all that. And yeah, we have a lot of that there. Mm-hmm. So there are things that, you know, a lot of ritual sacrifices and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. That when you say ritual sacrifices, what do you mean?
Yeah, we've had some real bad ritual sacrifices where people are sacrificing people and stuff like that. And so yeah, some of those, there is no way you can make that work with Christianity. But then you realize that our culture, our language, our dances, our moves, our dressing up, that's a big thing now. Back in the days, like you said, being a Christian, you had to dress like a white man in church. Now people are realizing, no, well, I can dress African and be proud of my outfits and be proud of my dances, my language. We are now starting to accept that and turn that to the real. We just put the gospel in there, but not erasing that totally.
Okay. Yeah. All right, brilliant. Let me take a quick break and come back. Over. What about Koopy? This looks like live Koopy. This is what? Baya Telededa.
Well said. Bia Telededa.
Listen, I'm sorry, no. This is my language. I'm good. All right, listen. All right, so this is straight from YouTube.
Yeah.
Can't overpower me. The enemy has no.
Bia Telededa. Anyway, it's really nice, and I love the dance. The video is really good.
Oh, thank you.
I love this video.
Thank
and you probably have got teachers. Well, I'm recognizing these dances because we dance like this in Jamaica. Yeah. Right? Father God is seated on the throne, and things are already better. I know you say God, but we say Mother, Father, God.
Yeah.
All right, so talk to me about gospel music in Uganda, because this is Europeanized Christianity. This is outside of our traditional ways of being and our ways of knowing. And I'm tapping into what you said earlier in that originally, when Christianity was first taken to Uganda, and I suppose in recent times, there was a struggle between the African ways of being and ways of knowing and this Europeanized culture that was coming in. But that you're seeing the change. Is it that Ugandans have tell us about that conflict, that struggle, and to what extent is Christianity resisting that? Because wherever else we find Christianity on the continent of Africa, for example, say in Ghana or the places in West Africa, Ghanaians are, for example, and Nigerians have literally a lot of them, and I don't want to say blanket, but so many of them have walked away from that part of them, so that their Africanness, that is to say their African culture, to facilitate the Europeanized way of thinking. So how deep is this struggle? Is it the young people who are carrying this struggle, or is it that Christianity as it is practiced in Uganda have begun to realize that we can't do this by denying people their ways of knowing and their ways of being?
All right, so this is going... It may get a bit deep, but I will say this. Right now, in Uganda, I think with the exposure, the knowledge, the education, people are now realizing that we don't need European validation to be Christians. I don't need permission from somebody to accept Christ. I don't know if you get what I mean. I don't need them to tell me that, because now when you realize and you get the message of understanding of understanding Christ. You realize you don't need somebody to give you permission. You have to understand Christ your own way. So I will say this. Back in the days, in Uganda, where I come from, we have a very popular cloth that is made in Uganda. It's made from the trees. It's called olubugo. It's a back cloth. It's made from trees. So it's very popular for Africans to put it on. It's what we used to bury the dead in. We still bury them in there. But we also put it on when we are going for functions and all this. So it was also used a lot in witchcraft. Because, I mean, again, it was the only kind of cloth back then. So the Christianity had made us look at this back cloth as evil. But it's just cloth. Just because somebody puts it on when they are going to commit crimes doesn't mean if I put it on and I'm going to pray or praise God, it's just a cloth. So like I've said, it's taken us time and education for us to learn that this is an African cloth. And
I think
cloth.
that is, for me, that's the crux of the matter. To take, even if we have to take them one by one and reclaim them, because who is to say a European serial killer who wears a pair of jeans to kill hundreds, then the jeans become
are looked
evil.
at badly. Exactly.
And so you can't wear that. It doesn't happen with the Europeans, but with Africans, and whether you're on the continent of Africa or in the African diaspora, these are choices you have to make on small issues like this, which are really massive when you put them all together. So I like that about how we reclaim our spaces, reclaim our rituals, and also reclaim our clothes.
And that again, like I said, that comes with a lot of education, and you understand. That's like I said, where you grow up to a level where you don't have to be told by somebody, hey, you can't put on that here.
Where did the leadership come from? Did it come from the people, or was this a conversation all across Uganda to say? So
it's still. It's still, I would say, a learning process. I will give you an example of myself. So I grew up with a lot of I did history. So I had a lot of I would say resentment against the colonialism and all that. So that in a way kind of affected my my Christianity a bit. I was like, it can't be this, and they're the ones that they brought Christianity at the same time they were colonizing us and treating us like this. So I had a lot of that. And then when I was at university, and I think around 2014, I went into Bible school, and I think that changed my life. That's when I now realized that, you know, there is a way, a system where you I don't know, indoctrinated, where you're just being indoctrinated, where you're not being taught the reasons why you are supposed to ask the hard questions. Also, why can't I put on the back cloth? Why is the back cloth really evil? Can you explain that to me so that you get the explanation? So when you go, when I went into Bible school, I think that cleared a lot of that for me. And I realized...
How's your music helping to facilitate that education process?
So in my music was actually, and I again, like I said, that's what made me very popular, because I wasn't singing the normal norm. I was kind of pushing the boundaries, basically pushing people to, you need to understand God, and not just be told and just
sing one of those songs for me. Let's get one of those songs that spoke to people.
So now this is called Butamanya, and Butamanya means lack of knowledge.
Butamanya.
Yeah, Butamanya. It says, Mutwe munafugumenya bigele na penjili tujimenyele na kubigele tubulile njili mbu twagala baloko kecho katebola babye tukole ebyo bye bibagobye gwe Yesu mbwa yagala baloko ke baliloko kabati atenga teba wolide baze mu kanisa gwe wabafubutudde bwe bilize basibye gwe tezikunyumidde nzawonda bawo butamanya gundi bawano jawano butamanya Yes, wayagala baloko ketyo kate gogo wagoba. So that one, basically, I'll give a small.
Yes.
It's basically talking about. I have dreadlocks, and dreadlocks are
right.
You get what I mean?
Right.
So, and in that song, I was singing that, and I was telling that the reason we in Africa we have a saying that motwemo na fugumenya bigere a head that is weak makes the feet work more. So I was saying, we are making it hard for the gospel to be preached because Jesus Christ said, "Come as you are." And now you are standing at the door, limiting people because, I don't like your hairstyle, so you won't come into church. Forgetting church doesn't belong to you. That's what I said. You do not, what I said at the beginning, you do not need permission to be a Christian. You accept Christ personally.
So say that in which language are we speaking?
Luganda.
Say
Yes.
that in Luganda.
Which
you do not need permission.
Tewetaga lukusa.
Tewetaga lukusa.
Tewetaga lukusa.
I like how you say,
Tewetaga lukusa okukkiriza Kristo. Okukkiriza is to believe. Oh yes, okukkiriza.
What's that?
To believe.
Oh, okukkiriza.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Tewetaga lukusa okukkiriza Kristo.
All right, we love that.
Yeah.
All right, so who's my brother here now who's just laughing and
Lionel Tip. The reason why I'm in Jamaica.
Right.
Yes, how are you? Yes, this is Lionel Tip from right here, Jamaica. Manayard.
That means something wrong here, so careful.
Yes.
Listen, you can't talk, not know me talk.
No, not at all. Patois, I can, if you don't want English, I can give you patois.
Go right ahead, my brother. I'm good with it, you know.
You're good with that? Good.
You see me?
We don't need a translator.
We don't need a but we're going to talk, because brother understand patois?
Yes. Been around me enough. So
all right, so we don't, look, Kuya, we want out of time. Tell me a little bit about yourself, because I have another interview right here.
Yes.
But Naomi Tosh, my sister, just hold on. That is Peter Tosh's daughter. Yeah. So hold on. We asked Peter Tosh's daughter to hold, you know that guy. Yeah. So hold on for me, that little Naomi Tosh. We'll soon come to you. Tell me about yourself and a little bit about the brother who you've carried into Jamaica.
Yes, Lionel Tape, gospel artist from right here in Jamaica, born in central Jamaica, which is Manchester. Stayed in the church, grew up in the church. I was invited to Uganda last year for an event, and that's when I met Kupi Blai here from.
There you go, Uganda, not tell nobody.
Eh? I never asked permission.
You never asked permission. Yes. So you went to Uganda, you loved it?
Yeah. Oh yes. A beautiful country. It was a very good experience.
Yeah, you're fine with people.
Yes, man. Right. Finding our people and realizing, I always grew up hearing them talking about the motherland, going back to Africa. Always something that we're only intrigued by hearing about it. Right. It was taught to us that, that type of stuff. But then going now to experience it, man, I feel like I have found home.
So you care about, you say Coopy?
Yes. Yeah. Come meet your family members. Yes. So we bring him over.
So what has he been doing here? So the Sterling
Gospel Awards.
Sterling.
Yes.
No, it's Sterling.
One of our the song that we did the collaboration on, it got nominated this year. Okay. That's March On, the one that he first started out with.
Okay.
So he came in for that, and also we performed last night as well at the Sterling Gospel Awards.
Okay, brilliant. Last night?
Yes.
I reached already?
Exactly.
Oh,
so you know how me tired I was.
Oh, you said poor little thing in Luganda because Spanish me talk a while ago.
Yeah.
How you said a poor thing?
Poor, yeah. Like we.
You said Bambi.
So I don't know your music, so give me a little piece of your music.
All right. Step out in your blessing. Step out in your blessing. With Jesus I'm stepping. Step out in your blessing. Well, if you're hacking the little device of the Lord, when you obey His words, you and Him, and when I call, blessing will overtake, it will follow you. Blessing drop off head, drop a shoulder and shoe. Your family, your friends, your dog and your crew, favor stop on you, just like crazy glue. Flow on you, baby.
Bambi. Anyway, we love it. Come back, please. Come back for more time, and we do a whole performance.
That's right.
And talk Luganda.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. All right. So listen, look out for them because I mean, wow, what beautiful music coming out of Uganda. And hold on, how long are you going to be here? You're in for a while? Are you in for a while?
We are actually leaving tomorrow.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Bambi. So they're leaving tomorrow, but we keep in touch, and when they come back, we'll hear much more. All right. So we're going to go straight to Nyambe Tosh, but let me take this break first. So I'm not used to the kind of assistance. So I just disconnected my sister Naomi. Didn't mean to, but it happened because of me just not being used to this thing. All right. But we're heading to Westmoreland on the 19th for Tosh Fest. We'll be broadcasting live from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. and then throughout the day. Irie will be there throughout the entire day. This program, as I said last week, we're taking it up. We're putting it down in Westmoreland and from Tosh Fest and all that involves. We're inviting you to come in to Westmoreland with us. And for those who are already in Westmoreland, please make your way to Tosh Fest. This is very important. We'll put it on with Gideon Boots under the theme Equal Rights and Justice and heading to Westmoreland. We go west where there is more land. Nyambe, sorry, I keep calling you Naomi all morning. Nyambe Tosh, how you doing? I don't know why I'm calling you Naomi. Good morning. I don't know. Listen, maybe because I had a gospel artist in, all of a sudden you become Naomi. You know.
It's okay. Naomi Campbell, she's beautiful, so I'll take it.
How you doing, my sister? Long time.
It's been a very long time. I'm doing very well. Just doing the work, growing the legacy, continuing to uplift Peter in any shape that I can. So I'm excited about this month.
Well, yeah, Heritage Month on the island, of course, Peter Tosh. When you say October, you also say Peter Tosh. And Tosh Fest is on. So tell us first about Tosh Fest, and we're going to other things if we have a time. But so that's going to be on the 19th.
Correct. Tosh Fest is October 19th. It's at the Peter Tosh Memorial Garden in Belmont, Bluefields. So hold on. In the west.
Let me stop you for a minute because I'm getting a lot of pushback, right, to say Belmont and Bluefields are two different places.
So what I've learned is that Bluefields is the broader, although there's a Bluefields, there's also Bluefields community, which includes White House, Bluefields, and Belmont. So I was educated on being inclusive because I call Peter Tosh Town Bluefields because he was in that area. That's his hometown. So Peter Tosh Town includes all of it.
Okay, so we're going to Peter Tosh Town, so you exactly do know where we're heading. So that, okay.
Exactly.
So go ahead, Nyambe. So it's going to be in Bell Gardens. Go ahead, Nyambe.
Correct. And so this year it's a free event. We wanted to make it inclusive. Last year we had a paid event and the people cried out. And so we wanted to bring it back to where it was over what is that? When was the last time you were there? It's been a while.
It's been a while. 20
yes.
something.
Yeah, maybe 2015, 13, I don't remember, but it's been a really long time. And so we've listened to the community. We wanted to, it's part of an initiative out of the Peter Tosh Foundation, aimed at elevating his hometown and bringing social economic opportunities there. And so this year it's free. We have Beanie Man headlining. We have Andrew Tosh as well, participating in many, many artists over the course of the day. As you know, your live broadcast starts at 6 a.m., so you all will be opening it up. Starting with some Naya Bingy drummers that are excited to really open and bless the ceremony and bless the day. But we have lots of guest speakers passing through. We have many artists that are excited to showcase their talents, and more to come, much more to come. Lots of cultural vendors, and of course the food will always be delicious.
The food is always delicious at Peter Tosh.
Yes.
It's one of the things that you can go for. Let me just say. All right. So, and the community, I suppose, will be in on that, right? Because you're talking about vendors.
Correct. Exactly. We've partnered with the Bluefields Community Center and really looking to make sure that it's very inclusive of the community.
So this is, once again, it's going to be at Peter Tosh Memorial Gardens, which is at the Mausoleum. Some people know it as the Peter Tosh Mausoleum. So the thing is, across the road, is that beach working for people who want to go swim?
It is. The Peter Tosh Beach is what I was told it was called.
Niambe, you're claiming everything in the name of Peter Tosh.
And it's not me, it's the people.
So the Peter Tosh, I'm very happy to hear that, the Peter Tosh Beach. All right, hold Niambe, let me take a quick break. Which is happening on October 19 in Belmont, Westmoreland. IRFM will be there. We're there all day. The Running African, as you've heard, we're taking up this entire program and we're putting it down in Westmoreland, in Belmont, at Melbourne, at the Peter Tosh Memorial Gardens. We're broadcasting live all morning. And so, Nambi, so how for persons who want to be vendors, have you already, is that all signed off on, or people can still call in for those who want to be vendors?
Yeah, people can definitely still call in if they're interested in being a vendor. They can reach out to the number 460-6923 to get more information on vending.
All right. And do you have any ideas as to how people traveling, are there transportation, do you have transportation lined up or buses leaving from anywhere, or are you just saying to people, come on down?
We're encouraging people to come down. We are looking at the need. We're getting a growing need for people that are interested in transportation, so that's something that we are looking at arranging. We can definitely ask everyone to follow toshfestja.com. So we're updating that on all social media platforms as well as the official website for more direct information on all things Tosh Fest.
All right. And once again, this is an all-day event. You spoke about the community and the community involvement, because you heard the community. The communities last year said, listen, man, we cannot afford it. So now you're doing something that is open, free to all across Jamaica. But specifically, I hear you talking about the community. How important is that community, Belmont, Westmoreland, Sav, that community to the development of the plans for development that you have, and Tosh Fest and the Peter Tosh Estate?
Definitely. It's something that it's home, and I realized, we realized that over the years, our spirit kept coming back to Belmont. And it's something that is important. It's a lot of people don't know, even though you look at the seaside town and you see all of the beautiful buildings there, you walk up a mile or two up into the hills and then you see, there's lots of people that don't even have access to water. There's the schools that definitely need some support, the primary basic school there. And we really want to make sure that as we use Peter's name, we use it in a way that elevates and uplifts the community, because that's what Peter stood for, equal rights and justice. Mm-hmm. And going back home only made sense. Mm-hmm.
The family will be there. You mentioned Andrew. I haven't seen Andrew in a very, very long time, much as I've seen perform. So I'm looking forward to that. But will you of course, will the other members of the family be there?
Yes, of course. It's always a family reunion when we come in. And I just got in that Runckus was confirmed to participate. We also have Nardo Williams, who actually acted as young Peter in the One Love movie. So he's super excited. He's been inspired since playing the role and has and is interested and excited to share his talents, because he's been studying and practicing the music for a while. So the roster of talent continues to grow, and so that's really we're excited to bring a grand celebration back home.
And obviously, when we talk to you next week, we'll hear more about what's involved. So what can we expect now for persons who are coming in? I know we'll be broadcasting from 6 to 10. Go through the day for us.
Yes, so the broadcast, of course, as you mentioned, is from 6 to 10. We're looking at having, different people come in to speak that knew him, to really share some of those intimate stories of Peter, but also throughout the day, different talent. At the end of the later part of the evening, we'll actually be premiering the Peter Tosh Town documentary that was filmed over the course of last year. And so that's really exciting. It's actually a 4-part miniseries that we put together. And so we'll have that premiering in Belmont in the evening. And then, of course, we'll have, our amazing closing off with Andrew and Beanie.
All right. Looking forward to that. I'm excited about going back to Westmoreland and really to go to Tosh Fest itself. Looking forward to seeing you, Naomi, and I'm sure we'll be linking with you again next week and maybe others. How the family, by the way? How Dave and everybody?
Everybody's good. Everybody's good.
Okay,
it's always, this is our family reunion every year too. So there's a lots of excitement. So definitely looking forward to reconnecting. And we are making it family friendly this year. So we have some activities for the young people to do as well. All
right. Brilliant. It's a family day. Make it to Westmoreland. Belmont, Westmoreland, 19th. Will the venue, which is the Memorial Gardens, be open on the Saturday evening into Saturday night? Or
yes, it will be.
Okay, so for those who want to come in and drum Saturday into Sunday morning, you can be there
exactly.
Saturday into Sunday morning. All right, and for those who want to come eat roast potato, you can be there. I'm just saying, I'm just saying, right? Because
Put it out there, because I will be there. I will be one of those.
Yes, and it might get a bit cloudy, but it won't rain. Because,
of course.
Because Peter is the one who talk about Buckingham Palace. I'm just saying.
Yes, of course. Of course.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, my sister. And see you on the 19th, and we'll talk to you again next week.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right.
Have a good one.
You too. So Peter Tosh, Tosh Fest is on the 19th of October. We're heading there, IRFM will be there all day. And as I said before, Nicholas Evans and myself, we're co-hosting next week Sunday, the 19th from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. And it's going to be as it used to be, as it was in the beginning. So it is in the continuation. So I'm just asking the family, come join us there now. And for those who can come in from Saturday night, and we could just chill, because you don't know the thing go. We always love it at Tosh Fest. All right, so Brianna is our new broadcast assistant. Brianna, I'm going to take you by such a surprise. Just grab a headphone, just sit there. I just want to thank Shamara Preston. She's been the lead broadcast assistant on the program and producer when I travel overseas. And we've traveled to so many places across the world and across the continent of Africa, Shamara and myself, along with Nicholas Evans and the team over the years. So a really big thank you to Shamara Preston, who's done a really great job over the years on this program. Shamara is no longer at Area FM. She's gone on to greater things, and growth is like that. So Shamara, however you go and wherever you go, may Mother, Father, God go with you and the ancestors travel with you, because I know that it's good things that you're off to. So Shamara is no longer with IRFM, and I have to say that because what I want to say, yes or no, because one of the things that we do in this space, we're very inclusive of the producer and the broadcast assistant. We work as a really tight team, and I call her name 5, 6, 7 times in this program over the many, many years. And you know that anything that you have to do and anything that you want and any participation, etc., I normally say to you, call Shamara, write Shamara. Shamara is the one. And so you're probably still doing that, not getting any response, is not recognizing that Shamara is no longer here. She's also not on the program. So Shamara, kudos to you, my darling. You've done really, really great job over the years. Very professional, highly skilled, very professional. And we miss you. Our new broadcast assistant is in the studio with me right now, Brianna White. Hey, Brianna.
Hi, good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
I'm very happy to see you. You came in pretty early this morning.
Yes.
Are you used to it or not used to it?
I was used to it.
You're not used to it. I mean, which part are you used to it? You're used to it. You've never been on this program.
No, not on this program, but wake up call.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So the 6 o'clock thing.
Yes.
Well, thank you for coming in so early and for us to have this conversation, because you've been with IRFM for quite a while, right?
Yes.
And so a lot of our listeners would have known you already. They know you.
They know the name.
Yeah, at least the name. You don't say much on air, do you?
No.
All right. But so how is it going so far?
It's going good, actually.
What have you done since morning?
I did my research and I got the news.
You did get the news, and you can literally tell me off your head what's in the news, right?
Not really.
You mean not really?
I don't remember everything.
What do you remember?
Alright, so I know that there's something going on at Madagascar. I know that Egypt and Ethiopia is going neck and neck as to who is causing the dam to, this
flood the Nile.
Yeah. Right. There was some shootout thing going. I don't remember the name of where, but
so she's on top of it though. Don't worry about it. She's totally on top of it. Yeah. And this is your first morning,
yes,
on the program like this. I wanted to introduce you to our audience, and also to say that you'll be in with me most mornings, right?
I hope so.
Listen to me. All right, but at least you'll be in Westmoreland.
Yes.
Are you looking forward to that?
Yes.
How much?
It's an experience that I'm looking forward to.
Have you ever been to Westmoreland?
I've been to Westmoreland, but not to Tosh Fest. So I'm excited to see, the happening and, learn more about Peter Tosh and his family. Yes.
And in terms of your work here at IRFM, what do you do generally?
So currently I'm a broadcast assistant in the programs department. So I work along with you and Muta. We do administrative stuff in the office.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, hey Muta, here's our new Shamara. Right. So, and when you say admin stuff, you mean in the programming department?
Yes. And I also assist the receptionist as well.
And you've been out on quite, in other words, you're new to these programs, but you've been at IRI working on other programs. Tell me about those programs.
So I've worked on mainly the wake up call. So I work with Courtney, I work with Bones, I work with Clover, Jen, Lollipop. There are different days, they do different stuff. So It's actually good.
Yeah.
It's actually good.
Because these programs are so different, right?
Yes.
Although it's all the wake-up call.
Yeah, but they're all different.
Yeah, because you're juggling on a Tuesday.
Yes. And I'll be doing a motorizer or a texter with bones.
Yes.
And Courtney's all about winning the money.
Exactly.
And the credit.
Yes. That must be quite something. That must be fun, right? That money giveaway thing, right?
Right, yes.
So are you still on these programs? No. While you're with Muta and myself?
Yes, I'm with Clover J and Lollipop and Bones. I'm not there physically, but I assist with the preparation of the program.
So what is it like working with Muta so far?
It's actually good. He's calm and, easy going.
You never expect him to come. Muta is the Muta.
He's very calm and easy going.
Yes.
So I like that about him.
Okay. All right. So I'm looking forward to working with you, Brianna.
Same
Remember
here.
now, you don't send things to Shamara anymore. Shamara is not here. Shamara, have a good one. It's Brianna White. So call Brianna. Do not call me. Text Brianna. Do not text me. Brianna, how do they get to you?
So they can get me on, my email address is bwhite, so that's BWHITE @irefm.net.
So bwhite @irefm.net. That's Brianna, and I know many of you will soon have her WhatsApp.
Right.
I apologize ahead of time, but all right. So we're looking forward to hearing much. She'll also be doing some stuff in the program over time, in the same way that all the broadcast assistants and producers have done. And she'll be with us in Westmoreland in 2 weeks. All right, Brianna, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, let me take a quick break. Guest online, another young man. I know he probably thinks that we're the same age, but hey. Cohen Palmer is an educator with a Master's of Arts in Teaching and a Bachelor of Science in Sociology from the University of the West Indies, Mona. He's currently pursuing a doctorate in Educational Leadership and Management at the University of Technology, and is passionate about research and the promotion of Rastafari culture. He's dedicated to exploring the global economic and social influence of Jamaica's rich cultural heritage. Cohen is on the line. Cohen, good morning.
Hi, greetings, Kabu.
Greetings, my brother. Welcome, because we've had many discussions over time by phone, and you're always reaching out, and we're always talking. But have you ever been on the program as a guest? No, right?
First time.
Yes. My apologies. Welcome. Such a brilliant mind that I'm not sure how I overlooked that, but I know, as we said before, that in your bio that you're interested in research, and we'll get to that, and the promotion of Rastafari culture. But tell me about your job as an educator with a Master of Arts in Teaching and a Bachelor of Science in Sociology. Tell me about that. But now you're doing your doctorate, so how you balance that?
Well, firstly, I want to say how honored I am to be speaking with you. Indeed, you are a multifaceted individual, international journalist. So I'm really honored for this opportunity to talk about my work. I sent you an article about the economic benefits of cannabis, and, you received it well. And that was very encouraging for me. In terms of my academic work, at the moment I am at the University of Technology, where I am in the doctoral program, in education, leadership and management, where I am really focusing on policy, such as, the school feeding program, how we can fund education using our natural resources, herbs, such as cannabis. So I am also a adjunct faculty member at the Caribbean Maritime University, where I focus on research. Okay.
Brilliant. And that takes us to the research paper that you've written, Unlocking Economic Viability, Cannabis Production in Jamaica. You looked at this in the global context. You talk about the regulatory framework, and challenges and so on. So let's start with, the global market as you've broken it down. Talk to us about the findings of your research.
Well, the global market at present is projected to value nearly $70 billion by 2028. The largest market is California, which Jamaica Rasta have a connection. In my research, speaking with growers and the seeds that they receive, they talk about California a lot. And that is one of the market that is, growing. The government in between 2018 and 2020 collected over $1 billion in tax revenue from cannabis sales. And why I go there is to just show that just one state, the global market is always growing. Portugal recently freed up legislation on marijuana for medicinal and recreational use. Germany has long been interested in marijuana and is always seeking the highest strain. St. Vincent and Grenadines, one of our Caribbean neighbors, has exported 110 pounds of their marijuana to Germany. So that's another market. So you have Europe, you have the US, not to mention Canada, which is, a market that is ready for us to, stamp our feet. And we have been having trading relationship with Canada for a while, because if you recall, in 2023, there was marijuana that was imported into Jamaica from Canada, and there was an uproar over that. But in international trade, it's both ways. We also have, export marijuana oil to Canada. So we have Canada. We also have Uruguay, Latin America, not to mention Brazil. Brazil is a market that, a long been interested in marijuana, and the mother, Africa, is another growing market. So it is really a fertile soil, and it is more than time that Jamaica take a firm control of this opportunity that we have been given.
Yeah, because and this you point to really articulately so well in your research paper, where you point out that despite this cultural reputation and the natural advantage that Jamaica has, that we're lagging behind in capturing a share of this booming market. Why is this so, do you think?
Well, let's look at, international and institutional barriers. You have a Safe Banking Act, which the U.S., which is the world leader in terms of, policing, and the United Nations also have a narcotic drug act. That is some hindrance. So those are structural in terms of the United Nations Act and the American Safe Banking Act, and they also have a MORE Act, which are preventing companies from accessing loans through the banks. So those are some institutional barriers. However, we know those eventually barriers will be removed. So that is what I would call institutional issues. Furthermore, to speak about Jamaica, I think there's a lack of industry leadership, and that is one of the issues. In 2015, there was a lot of encouragement with the decriminalization of the marijuana. There was a lot of groups that was rally and form and organize themselves to take, opportunity of the decriminalization. There was a lot of hope. It was that time when they formulated the Cannabis Licensing Authority, the CLA. Subsequent, there seemed to be a lull, in the market, because expectations in terms of the fast movement of the industry, a lot of people, was ready to take advantage. Overseas, local, entrepreneurs were willing to make whatever that they need to, but there seemed to be a slowdown in the pace of the growth of the industry. And one of the reasons is of the stakeholders. Who are the main stakeholders in the cannabis or the marijuana industry? Rastafari, local grassroots.
You say the stakeholders, and they are the main stakeholders. Is this in practice, or this is a reality of the situation, but not necessarily in practice?
Right. But you will expect that for a group of people who have long been prosecuted for this item, that there could be now at the forefront to benefit.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not seeing that. This position of mine is it's an economic and social justice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, social justice for the grassroots growers. You know, people who have long been toiling. You know, even now, people in their field now, as we and I talking, working in their field, cultivating, but yet still they don't have a market for their product, and their product is still being, taken and burned, which I think is a sin. You know, for someone to, go into the field, produce. So one of the barriers locally is who are involved. These are not, high society people. These are, agriculture person who will grow a little, herbs.
I like what you did in the paper to discuss these barriers to entry, because I think we take it for granted that they are not systemic barriers to entry. What specific policies do you believe are necessary to ensure that Rastafari is not continuously sidelined in this new economic order? Because basically this is what is happening, and specifically to speak to the barriers that you mentioned.
Well, coming together, the grassroots growers have been making steps.
But haven't they done that though, Queen? Haven't they? I mean,
yes, but that's one of the first things that they need to do. They need to lobby and know who to lobby for. I would want to speak frankly and said that, the government have a major role to play. The Cannabis Licensing Authority, I don't think, has near come to fulfill its mandate at all. It's really lagging. The cost for application, the cost for the tools to set up your farms, the camera, all of those auxiliary accessories, fees are barriers in US dollars. Most of our farmers cannot afford. So those are the barriers. There are, however, stakeholders like the University of Technology, the University of the West Indies, the Scientific Research Council, the Jamaica National Accreditation Body, the Bureau of Standards. We have these institutions already in place. We have Dr. Henry Lowe. We have a long history of success using cannabis in our medicinal and therapeutic use. Cannabis, for glaucoma. We have, drugs for asthma, for epilepsy. We talk about this so many times. The opportunities are endless. What I am now using this platform to do, since I've been given this opportunity, is to make a call on the Cannabis Licensing Authority. They clearly have some issue there. I think at one time they had 4 CEO changing in 2 years. So I know that they have still not been able to figure out exactly where they're going with this industry. The ministers, the relevant authority in terms of minister and government policymakers, need to look at that. I am calling now on Delano Seabright, which I think can fuel some energy into the industry, because that fall under the Industry and Commerce, the Cannabis Licensing Authority, the Bureau of Standards, all of the necessary institutions.
And he also has, Delano Seabright, also has empathy for, this is my experience with him over the years, for the Rastafari community and the extent to which the community has been, the barriers to entry that we talk about, that the community has been sidelined in this process. And I hope he still has that thinking, because him kind of did segue to tourism ministry, so when you go tourism...
Yes. You're right.
You lose everything when you go tourism. But as a person, as an individual who have been, had so many, have done so much work with him over the years, I know that he has that empathy. So I think you're right to call on him.
And I am calling, on Delano Seabright, because the industry needs leadership. As I said before, there's been a lot of personnel who have just come and gone. You have Dr. Elaine Campbell Grizzle of Pure. You have Marcel Emanuela Yui, who are scientists who are ready to provide their expertise there's more than enough, and there's more than enough time and resources for us to really seriously take a serious task force.
One of the things,
whatever they call it.
One of the things that I noted from your research, from your paper, and you really do go in on the licensing challenges. Did you say did you say the amount of licenses issued so far in the paper?
Yes, I believe.
Was it 160? I don't have a paper.
Approximately over 100 license within that has been granted, not provisional, but actually granted. That is quite low for over 10 years or nearly a decade since the Cannabis Licensing Authority has been established. And you can, do further research, my people, to see if the Cannabis Licensing Authority is really seriously helping, the industry. There are institutions.
It might have been a con. Let me take a quick break and come back. Online, Quinn Palmer, who has written, he's a doctoral student at the University of Technology in Educational Leadership and Management. And he's written a very thoughtful and insightful research paper entitled Unlocking Economic Viability, Cannabis Production in Jamaica. We're talking to him about that paper. Quinn, just to go back quickly on the licensing challenges that you've talked about in the paper and the authority. I said as I went into the break that this might have been a con, because how can you be there for so long and you've issued so many licenses, so few licenses, but also to the extent that the stakeholders, as you referenced them earlier, Rastafari, has been left out of this, and the barriers to entry, the burdensome requirements, as you mentioned in your paper. Do you, from looking at this, and I know you've been looking at it for a while, is there something fundamentally wrong with the structure of this body? And does it matter who goes there if you don't change how it is structured and what it is there for?
Well, a very important question. Honestly, I don't think it's meeting its mission. It's not accomplishing what it ought to, in my opinion. When I compare the St. Vincent and Grenadines, their own, medical licensing authority there, they provide assistance. They have inspectors that actually work with the farmers. They don't have such a large barrier to entry. And finances is a huge barrier. The expertise, the knowledge, they are barriers. And yes, so I would just say that they are barriers.
Yes, and I go further to say they are deliberate barriers, because, we've been in this business for a long time, and I've had many conversations on this, and it was obvious to me from the beginning that this was going to be a problem for Rastafari and for Jamaican people who didn't have the global funding to access this industry. Some of the other issues that you discuss in the paper, where you talk about the regulatory framework, which we've looked at, but let's talk about the laws, though, because they themselves, we're just reading in the news just this week, just 2 days ago, I think it was, that the police continue to confiscate ganja, and there's still persecution of Rastafari, much less ganja farmers who are not Rastafari.
Yes, that is really, a very sad occurrence. And I am in a space, where we talk about African Forum. So let's speak truth to power. It is a sin, for officers, to do that. It's really, words cannot really express, on this platform, how hard, I really want to speak. I don't think this platform will allow me, but it's really
this platform will allow you, but you are in the system, because you're also an educator, so you can't say much. But as much as you are able to say,
it is a shame, in terms of, it shows you that they're not seriously taking into consideration, the economic benefit, and the social justice of this. This is for public health, This is for public health, for public good. So for someone to, burn, cut down a plant, a herb, and destroy it after the person have put in hours of time and energy. I put it to Jamaicans that if you want to know if someone is really lazy, if you want to know if the youths of Jamaica is really lazy, give them something to grow. Give them even a pot, give them something to grow. And you will see, and it is a spiritual and natural, way to connect with the earth. And you don't alienate yourself from your labor when you do that, But when you come and destroy, the end product, it's really is a sin. And that's something that the government should. And it will happen. I am making a call for all the stakeholders. I am seriously making a call and, the government, to seriously consider JAMPRO. They're working along with other association with local herbs. Because Jamaica have been blessed with, the sunshine and the soil and the expertise to grow herbs. So I am making a special appeal to Delana Seabright, the Rasta community, the grassroots growers. We need some attention. We need a conference. We need to come together to make this work. It is so easy. We have we have so much advantage, comparative advantage, competitive advantage. We're globally recognized for this herb, and we're not capitalizing on it. And it's just because of who is involved. Now we're seeing a shift. We're seeing more brown skin, more uptown, more people open up, dispensaries. So as business folks, they won't be satisfied with just Jamaican market because you won't really make a lot of money selling to Jamaica. But the global outlook, and I believe the time is right for us now to get ourselves together ready, to, globally, reach out to capitalize on this.
Yeah, because
Let me tell you something.
Yes, go ahead.
In 2015, 2017, a lot of association, scarce commodity. I remember someone that Dr. Andre Harden of Scarce Commodity, Richard Crawford, a lot of people started the association. They were ready. They had their tools and they were ready to take advantage of the industry. The University of the West Indies had their first conference on cannabis. They planted their first legal tree in 2017. And now we don't know, where all that energy gone.
What happened?
What happened,
But we're still witnessing what appears to be growth in the industry, but led by the 5%.
But it is so crazy that when we actually have experienced growth in Jamaica, is the agriculture sector usually, create that growth, and yet still we undermine, farmers and marijuana cultivators, So
we're almost out of time, and because we won't be able to go over because of the Supreme Ventures draw, but you made some strategic recommendations, and you've alluded to them as we discussed, as we've been talking here, about licensing, for example, simplify licensing.
Yes, it needs to be more. It is too intricate, for our, grassroots, growers. Give us, send out, some inspectors, send out some students from case. We send people to train in China and Israel, link them with the farmers, create a middle, between the CLA and the farmers, because the CLA really, as we already know. So that's one of the recommendations. Make the process way simpler. Remove the financial restrictions. It is way too expensive. And there is no loan. You cannot get a loan to go invest in marijuana.
Wow. I didn't even realize that. And then also you talk about social equity into the industry and the support of Rastafari and the grassroots.
That's another important point. Is social justice. To be brutalized for so many years. To just imagine how they demonize marijuana and Rastafari. But now, let's say this time come, a reparation, we need to have our reward. I'm not saying Rasta should be rich, but Jamaicans can benefit,
Yeah. And we can practice reparations on this island before we even think about the broader, we can walk on true gum, but we can practice on this island. And we can start with the Rastafari.
This is a start. Rastafari is a start to give them greater access and power, not just religious and sacramental, but gave them the economic opportunity to gain from this industry. It's a global thing. It can fund education. It can fund the school feeding program. It can fund the school bus system easily. If we had capitalized on that 10 years ago, we wouldn't be having issue of growth.
You also talk about expanding the research and development. You allude to Henry Lowe just earlier.
Wow. This is not just recreation. This is medical. Serious epilepsy, cure for cancer, for pain. The opportunities are on the scientific scope is limitless. It is limitless. And we know that. It's just that we're discouraged. The shareholders, the stakeholders are discouraged. We need new energy. We need fuel right now in the cannabis industry. And I'm making a call out again, for the government to start a new chapter, with cannabis, because it is economic. It is Jamaica money tree, and we can make money from it. So I'm calling again on the Minister of Commerce, industry. They have a new, young, vibrant minister. I'm sure if he dedicate just 5% of his attention to the Cannabis Licensing Authority, the Bureau of Standards, the Scientific Research Council, all of those entities, the universities, they have scientists, they're ready, they have been studying, they need money.
And they can reach out to people like yourself. Just get different voices in. They can reach out to people like yourself.
There's a lot of voices, not just me, but you have the local cultivators, you have the Rastas, them that you yourself connect me with who are growing, the House of Seba, Ras ILV, those persons,
Yeah.
So we have people. It's not a lack of human resource. It's just the human resource are Africans.
I'm totally out of time, but you might have seen that there was a conference, the second cannabis conference and Expo Regional Exporters, Cultivators Dialogue that happened in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I don't know if you had eyes on that, but look at that. I suppose we'll talk another time about it because
sure.
A lot came out of that. I'll mention some of that if I get a chance today. But that conference, I think, is just wrapping up in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, if it's wrapped up yet. But,
we have personnel. We have people like, Ras Jalani,
yes.
Dr. Jalani, Naya. So we have people, we just
Marcus
need to come together. Marcus Goff. We have people. We just need the government to do right by the industry, and to give social justice, to, the persons who have suffered over the years.
Thank you so much
for this man.
Thank you so much
for the opportunity.
It was a pleasure talking to you, and we'll talk again soon.
Take care.
All right. So that's Cohen Palmer, educator and a doctoral. Told you that there was a new HIV vaccine that was being, I told you about it when they started testing it in Africa, right? And remember we had that conversation. Well, anyway, I had that literally just almost shouting on air to say that, so yeah, you have an HIV vaccine, you're testing it in Sudan and Congo and places like that, and you're going to be rolling it out soon. They did say they were going to test it in war-torn areas, in areas where there was war, ongoing war. Only thing with that is that they were testing it in Africa, so they were testing it on black people. That was the first thing. That was the first red flag. And secondly, my concern then, and I have that concern even more now, because they're rolling out this HIV vaccine now in Jamaica. But this vaccine that you see they've come up with, calling HIV vaccine, one of the things that they haven't said enough of is to say that this vaccine is not going to prevent sexually transmitted diseases, It is, the observers is reporting that Jamaica is eyeing pilot of injectable drug, which is hailed as genuine chance to end the global epidemic of HIV. The drug has been described as a genuine chance to end the global epidemic, and that Jamaica has taken a decision to embark on the pilot, and that this was revealed by Dr. Nicola Skyers, Senior Medical Officer of the National HIV/STI Program in the Ministry of Health, and that she explained that there are also plans for the rollout of cabotegravir or something to that effect, another injectable form of pre-exposure prophylaxis taken once every 2 months for the prevention of HIV. What I do not like about the reporting on this, and this is what I said at the beginning, is that, all right, so you have an HIV vaccine, report it as such and make a move on. But you still have to come back to say that you can't, this is not going to prevent sexually transmitted infections. This is not that kind of vaccine. So it is this irresponsible reporting generally across the board, which is the same thing they did in Africa. And I don't know anything about the vaccine itself. I'm not even talking about the vaccine now. And it's interesting that a vaccine is coming out at a time when you all already had a cure for HIV, which was not the vaccine. So something is wrong about that many ways. I'll come back to this another time. I have been on it, but I'll come back to it another time. But I need to warn the Ministry of Health and all these health agencies that are, falling over themselves to roll out this pilot project of this HIV vaccine, that there is more to reporting on an HIV vaccine and jumping up and down about it than just saying that it is out there. You have to be, responsible reporting demands that you point out that this is not going to prevent you getting a sexually transmitted infection. Right. Let me go to the phone lines because we do have another discussion coming up. Also very special guests who are joining me in studio, as I said before, from the Flankers community. And from Jabem, someone who can talk about vaccines, Dr. Devon Taylor should be joining me on the phone line. So let me see if he's there. Dr. Devon Taylor, are you there?
Greetings, Cabo. I'm here. What are you doing? Greetings to the audience.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us online, Devon. What a segue from HIV vaccines to you. Who'd have thought it?
It's who planned it?
It wasn't planned. It wasn't planned. Everything is not a conspiracy. It wasn't planned. And I'm going to leave it there now because you didn't come to talk about the vaccine. But you must have heard about the vaccines, haven't you?
Well, I've read the article in the Gleaner yet, but I think it's a worthwhile topic we need to explore because, yes, there are the traditional vaccines that are coming out, and then there are technologies, that are genetic based to actually stimulate cells and remove the virus. So, there's some serious cure coming down. But you're correct; they're not preventing transmission, but they will allow us to eradicate the virus in someone who contract them. So I think we need to sort out a time where we just deal with that.
Yes, and I'll definitely sort that out with you because I think we need to have this conversation, especially because Jamaica is now very happy about this. It's happy reporting, and they're about to roll out a pilot project, they say. We saw them test this on the continent of Africa, and they also did mention Haiti, and also among the LGBTQ community and the exotic workers. Anyway, but we'll get back to that, Devon. But just to put our listeners on alert to say, yes, the reporting is going on about this vaccine, but remember, this is not a vaccine to prevent sexually transmitted infections, and that is something that I think needs to be underscored. You're here for a whole different conversation as representing Jabem, the founder director of Jabem, and also joining us in the studio, we've got community activists with us, and also a recreation user here of the Flanker beach. The beach is called Flanker Beach, is it? No, Flanker Beach. What's the name of the beach?
Flanker's Providence Beach.
Flanker's Providence. So we have Kimisha
Bird. Yes,
right? Kimisha Bird and
Monique Christie.
So far, all right. So only two of you so far. We're expecting others to join us in the studio, and who? Oh. Who that? Hold on, let me turn on your microphone. Listen, man, you're on Big A mic. So I didn't see you. It's Big A normally use that mic. All right, so who do we have here? Orlando Brown, all right. And of course online, sorry?
Rowan Williams.
So we have Orlando Brown, Rowan Williams, Monique Christie, and Kimisha Bird in the studio. We'll come back to you in a little while. Thank you so much. But Devon, let me start with you, because there is an active court case that is coming up tomorrow, regarding the issue we're going to be talking about. So I want to situate this conversation within what is about to come up, and then later to contextualize. So tell us about that court case that is scheduled for tomorrow.
Yes. So the court case, is around protecting the rights, to Providence Beach, which is located in Flanker. And we had to file a suit in the court because on May 7th, the communities in and around Flanker were made aware of a plan, that was, to build 28 hotel rooms, right? And this was by Sanders Resort International. An environmental impact assessment town hall meeting was held on the University of the West Indies campus down there in Montego Bay, presenting the plans that Sanders Resort International had, which was to build 10 bungalows on the land itself, and then another 18 overwater bungalows, in the sea. And, that plan, would really control the expanse of the beach, would control the entire land. The communities in and around, Flanker, Providence Heights, Salt Spring, Coral Gardens, White House, Norwood, all of these communities who have been using this beach for more than 60 years would have been displaced and dispossessed of the right to access that beach and to really use the sea. We have a very large fishing community there that, include the communities of Flankers and White House. We have the recreational users of the space, the artistic users of the space. The school use, the beach also for environmental clubs. So all this community now and all the other, social, cultural usage of beaches, these communities was going to be, affected. And the EIA did not consider the prescriptive rights, which is the rights that people develop customarily in Jamaica by using these spaces. They considered around 13 laws, and none of these laws pointed out that these communities had a prescriptive rights of access to the beach. Mm-hmm. So upon seeing that, the communities says, no, we are not going to surrender our beaches. Monique is going to speak to this more. They were very vocal. They said, we are not giving up our beaches. Mm-hmm. Right? NEPA could have stepped in, the government could have stepped in and says, hey, listen, no. The communities, have been using this and their rights must be preserved. Mm-hmm. And when, people find themselves in this position, right? The state disempower them, and then a private corporation comes now and is further driving the nail in the coffin, mm-hmm. then we have to sit down and figure out how do we really defend ourselves. And so we are doing so by taking the matter to the court and having the court determine our indefeasible right of access, to this beach. And so that's why we have to file in the court.
All right, hold for me. we are faced with a vexing issue. I went over this in my mind on the weekend and this morning again as I was heading to work, just thinking about how much we have lost, how much access, and then asking myself, just as a 2-year-old, why? And then to also say, what is the end game? That we continue to talk. The JABEM has so many cases in court in terms of taking the government, the people against the government for access to land, access to the water, and for their basic human rights. This is basically what is going on in Jamaica, on the island, in 2025. So here we are with a studio full of community members from Flankers community. The Providence Beach is under threat. And the threat it's under is a total grab of land and water and ocean from the people by people who should know better. But here we are. Anyway, Devon mentioned Monique, so I'm going to start with you, Monique, okay. To say, all right, so contextualize this for us, and Devon did a pretty good job. But in terms of how did the people of Flankers and the community learn about this, and then what was the initial response, and where are we now?
Okay, all right. So this how we learned about it. There was a team going through the community, making us aware of Sandals International interest to privatize the beach. Okay, so I had asked. I was saying, this is the first time I'm hearing about this particular.
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing you well, so I'm not sure which microphone you're on.
Maybe this one?
Yeah, grab that one. Let's see.
Okay. Is it better?
Better.
Okay. So I'll start over. So we became aware of the situation during the course of a survey that was being conducted on the behalf of Sandals International with regards to privatizing the beach. So with the persons that were conducting the interview, we asked some questions. We were informed this was the initial survey. The community would be informed. So there would be various community engagements to inform the community and make sure they're aware and work with us to find out, to make sure that we were not just aware, but in of one accord. The next time we heard about it was actually the report being handed in through to NEPA, and we heard that this was the final opportunity that the community had to actually have any say in the matter, to let their thoughts and, what our views were be heard. So we went to the meeting and we made them aware that we found this particular, the manner that they did this, we found it disingenuous and quite deceptive, and we didn't appreciate the way that the route that they chose to engage us, because we have always enjoyed a what we thought was a mutually beneficial relationship with Sandals. They were, just a few hundred meters away from the community.
But they've been in that area for a very long time.
Yes, and I would go so far as to say for the life of Sandals, that was their flagship.
Exactly. Right. I remember that, yes.
Yes, this was their flagship.
The days of Horace Peterkin.
Exactly so. And so we have enjoyed, throughout that time frame, we have enjoyed what we considered a mutually beneficial relationship with Sandals International, and we did not appreciate the manner in which they went about this particular project.
And you said that and that was said to...
Yes, at the meeting in the... So, unfortunately, no one at the meeting was there to represent Sandals in a meaningful way to engage the community. There were persons there to serve food, and that was it. Maybe to take down names, but no one who was from maybe...
A decision maker,
medium level management who could answer questions or say, okay, steps forward, nothing. So we reached out to Sandals as a community to engage them, asking them to come to the table with the community of flankers and be engaged in an emergency meeting. So it was very short notice because we wanted to know how best we could move forward, because this particular manner was not something that we appreciated. They did not show up. They did not respond to any messages, and I'm very sure that we reached out and sent that notification to them, but no, and to this date, no response. Right, and that they've maintained military silence with us with regards to that.
So who is communicating with you on Sandals' behalf?
No one.
All right. Kamisha, tell us about the beach. How long the community has been using it, and or somebody else can do that. Is that you?
No, that's
yeah. All right, go ahead.
All right. So we've been using the beach.
This is even worse because that microphone. Both of them should be working. At least that one there and this one, but this one, yeah. I'm sorry. We're doing this all on air because we've got a whole lot of microphones and a lot of people. We didn't check them properly. Yes, go ahead. Okay.
All right. So we've been using this beach for as long as I can remember. I remember when I was a young child, and we would plan trips going to the beach. This beach is actually a public beach. So when it comes to this beach, and you're going to tell the people of the community that, hey, this is now a private beach, you see where the controversy is. Because this has always been known as a public beach. This was always been used as a public beach, and this beach has been used for years by fishermen, fisher folks, passers-by, people of the neighborhood, so on and so forth. So this all comes down to the alienation of our people against the beach, where we have no access to our coastlines. And this is where the problem is, because limiting our access to the coastlines now is like you're telling us that, hey, you are not welcome here. You know, you live on this land, but you're not able to access the waters of this land. And so that is where the problem lies. And as Monique has mentioned before, we have reached out to Sandals, and we have got no response up until this day. We have got no communication, and so it's a standstill. So there's no answers. There's no one to actually come out to have a discussion with us.
Well, we should try and get a comment, Brianna, from Sandals. Even though it is Sunday morning, there must be somebody we can try to get a comment from. Can you look into that? All right, thanks. Thank you, Kamisha. Let me just go to Rowan and finish. You want to finish up?
Yeah.
All right. So to Rowan, and we have Rowan and Orlando here, and they're sharing a microphone. Oh, we have somebody else?
Yeah, we have.
We have a full studio. I love it. So before they introduce themselves. So all right. So what is, because there was a public meeting. Part of that came on the news. It was, it's all over. People can look into that. It's on YouTube and everything. Obviously no satisfaction.
No, we haven't seen any satisfaction so far.
Can you lift the microphone? Yes.
Yeah, but I'm actually live in the White House community itself. So I pass that beach each day. I used to live in Mount Salem, where I used to visit my dad, and I used to see people using that beach long time.
And what years we're talking about? What years we're looking at?
I am 59 now, so I'm talking from like I was 20, 21. What happened, I understand there was some sewage things causing people for them to stop using that beach. I don't know where sewage was coming from, but that's why I understand why people stopped using the beach. And that's what caused everything to grow back and all of that. But there was a sign saying that Providence Beach, before the airport did a reconstruction, up to that time, a couple years ago, the sign was there. The sign is missing now. It's not there anymore.
The sign saying?
Providence Beach. That's what it said. Providence Beach. There was a sign there saying that.
So at the time of the takeover, Orlando, you know about the time of the before the meeting, that Monique referenced when the first document was sent out, and then the meeting afterwards. That at that time the beach was not being used?
Yeah, definitely it is.
Speaking.
The beach has been used since I know the spot for over, I said 35 years. The beach has been used.
Yes. And you use the beach?
Yes.
What you use it to?
I used to hustle at Standard Hotel, you know. When I was going on kayak and go sell my wares.
So you use that beach?
That's where we come from.
And you know of it, Rowan, that's been in use for over 35 years?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, we used to go down there from IRFM, and that is from 1990. So we can speak to 1990, from 1990 to now, and I'm sure others can speak before that. So, who we have here? Fishermen and activists. Yeah. All right. So, you want to grab no man, I can't just stand up and...
Hello, good morning.
Oh, okay, yes, greetings.
Good morning.
So let me just explain something to our listeners, that this is a very big studio, and so I'm going to ask Monique to help me to co-host this program, because I need the assistance. So Monique, please go back in there and help me to co-host. Devon, I have a full house, and you should know that. So we're twisting and turning. So who do we have there?
This is O'Neill Clark.
Yes.
From Flanker, Providence side.
Okay.
I'm a fisherman from 1979. And we used to use from that, since that beach was there, and then we used to use the canal close by to it. You understand me? So the airport now come and take over about the canal. Yeah, and we supposed to get that beach, and that beach was our beach that we used to use now, but the boat then used to park on the next side when we used to bathe over that side, for that side was the proper bathing beach.
Let our listeners know exactly where the beach is, right? Don't take it for granted. Tell us exactly where the beach is.
The beach is right close to Standards Montego Bay, Standards Mobile. Montego Bay, Standards.
Yes.
Yeah, just a fence line apart. Right?
Right.
And that beach used to use, and we have it standards, when standards now, show them have them plans, and then when them get them garbage, them can't only dump it on the beach, take time, dump it and start, you understand me? For show them have the powers. It's not reason to say we're fighting against standards, you know.
Alright, so over the years, dumping has been happening there.
Yes, then take time.
And you said the dumping was coming from the hotel?
Yes, from the hotel. We let them do the repairing when them to care to go to retirement. Just show them want to.
Well, don't say what they want to. Make we just keep it to the facts.
Yeah.
So so we're dumping on the beach, but you were still using the beach.
Yes, we're still using the beach.
Yeah.
So them dump off the entrance to the beach and start push it back closer to out.
Also, over time now, that whole dumping block off part of the beach.
Yes.
Over how many years?
A lot of years.
Oh.
A lot of years. And then the
10 years?
More than 10 years now going. And then the next issue now, then Standards want to buy more than what they can chew now, because my boat now recently parked up to Harvey Beach, that topside Standards Royal. And my boat used to park topside Standards Royal.
Alright, hold that point. Let me just take a quick break. Flankers. It's a beach that is now one in contention, that is now in the court, because the people of a community, Flankers and the surrounding community, are about to lose access to the beach. Have you already lost access?
No.
Okay, you can still use it as it is here now. All right, go ahead. So you're saying your boat now, you had to park your boat somewhere.
Up topside, Standards Royal. That about couple chains away from Standards Royal, and they build. The first thing, we used to have the access to the inside channel to go up to our beach. Then come and build the first set of bunker house out in the water, and then after them build those bunker house now, they started to restrict the area from us.
So did you know at the time when they were building the first set of houses, was the community notified?
Yes.
You were told? The community was told, Sanders told you before they built that they were going to be built?
No. First, we didn't know about that plan. We only see...
You just see the buildings going
start
up.
And piles start dropping. We used to go there and catch. We pipe for them to go on dolphin. Mm-hmm. We can't go there no more to catch a pipe for them to dolphin. Like when we go to ocean, could go there and hook some bait. Mm-hmm. Now all the bait stop come there for a portion of bunkhouse below out in the water. Mm-hmm. You see, in our beach now, where the boat park, if sea rough, you understand me? That if bad weather catches, that channel there what to take us closer to where my boat park. We can't enter from that channel if we get a bad weather. We have to take it from down the public beach to come up. Now, certain time at night, them tell us you can't use that water to come up to the beach. No more to go to us. So if the sea rough, we have to stay out there, we live stranded, and down them come up now. So they want to build how much bunker house now down at public beach to take over that side of beach again. So they have Standards Royal, and then now they want to have Standards Mobile.
But certainly, Devon, Dr. Devon Taylor, certainly,
yes.
And I know because this is now in the court that a lot of research would have been done on this, and it seems to me that Sanders would have had permission to do this.
Yes. Sanders, had permission to build in the sea, right? Mm-hmm. But I want to take one step back because what the brethren point out here is now the appropriation of the sea, the taking away.
Hold on, before you step back, who would be giving this? Who's the person who would give this permission or agency?
Oh, yeah,
that's NEPA,
right? Right. That is NEPA, but in Jamaica have no legislation that regulates, right, the building of structures in the sea for overwater bungalow. What Jamaica have is a 2016 guideline. A guideline was developed, right, when the first overwater bungalow was supposed to be built, right? That guideline was developed, and it was developed by the Sanders Resort International in partnership with the government. So the developer helped develop the guideline to build in Crown waters, in Jamaican waters. Mm-hmm. That took place, back there, right? Mm-hmm. So what that did, right, as the brethren pointed out, it's blocking the channels that the fishermen them use, right? And so we had to kind of, do some research to find out about, these guidelines. Right, and these guidelines are guidelines that you cannot prosecute in law, right? So the country, is operating on a piece of guideline that is allowing, hotels to build in the sea. Now it's not Sanders alone. Now, we have Princess Sense in the Mangrove have also built one down there in Green Island, Anova, and Sanders, have one in White House. This one in Royal, and now going to build another one. And all of these were built on guidelines. And so we have a problem. So if Parliament really, is in on this, then Parliament is actually violating Jamaican people's rights because we don't understand this whole thing. Now you ask, who does this? The sea, right, as we see it, is the common heritage of humankind and belongs to the Jamaican people as well. But it's the Commissioner of Lands. This is why the Commissioner of Lands is also, a defendant in this case, because we want to understand, we don't, Jabem have requested the lease for all overwater bungalow in Jamaica to try to share with the Jamaican people what is happening. We have done this for more than 3 months and we have got no response from the Commissioner of Lands because we are going to get to the bottom of this. Because we're not only losing beaches now, we start losing the sea. This is putting the fisher folks' lives at risk when they move along the coastline in all the interconnected beaches that are there, right? They now having problems. They have to go further out. Emergency happen. They can't get to shore fast enough because you have hotels built in these channels that they have been using for more than 60 years. So we have some serious problem emerging in the country right now.
Yes. So let me just kind of go back to Kamisha because and to Monique. At the time when you learned of this, it was done in such a way that you actually wrote to Sandals about it. Sandals has not responded to this. But another question that help me to understand. Have you heard that the beach was sold, or what have you heard has happened, apart from the fact that you've been called into a meeting now as a stakeholder who's about to lose the beach? I mean, and what? How does Sandals come to own this beach?
That's a question we've been asking, because it was a public beach.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's a question, and a very good question, and one of the most, what I would say, irritating issues for us as a community. We were the owners of this beach, and up until the EIA meeting, we were completely unaware that ownership had changed. Now, having done the research and found out that this is now the property owned by the airport authority, again, no information was presented or is available that Sandals owns the property to be now at the point of having submitted the final EIA and is now waiting on NEPA to give permission for them to build on property that is not theirs. It's the up until this point, as according to the land agency, it is the property of the airport authority. So
up until this minute,
yes. Up until
who is the airport? Who owned the airport authority?
That would be Jamaica.
Since when? You sure it's not Mexico?
It might be at this point because
we're gonna build a wall and Mexico gonna pay for. No, but who owned the it's not like a joke about who owned the airport them now, not Mexico.
Well,
Mexico own the airport.
I think they operated on a lease. I think Mexico operated on a lease, maybe a long-term lease, maybe about 30. I don't sure 30 to 60-year lease. Them have it on.
All right. So I say that, understanding that the airport authority would have still fall under a ministry.
Right.
So which ministry it fall under?
I have not done that research, so that's
it's a good question, and I apologize. It is a statutory body of the Jamaican government, so it is owned by the Jamaican government. I'm not sure which ministry.
Let me tell you something, Devon. The last time there was a problem with some flight out of Mobay, the minister that came up to talk about it was Daryl Vaz.
Okay,
remember,
so then it's transportation.
So the airport authority probably fall under the with the broadcast assistant. Brianna, check for the airports authority, I think, fall under the Ministry of Transportation.
I could not see.
Right. So that
I think so.
So then, as Monique share, yes, the land, right, that is going to be the new home of that hotel.
It belongs to the airport authority?
Yes, according to the
title. The title documents reflect that, yes.
And the airport authority is the airport authority a Jamaica thing, or is it partly private like UDC and NEPA and all of them, which is not our thing, but it belonged to somebody else on the side?
I couldn't speak to that with certainty, so
I think that is the crux of the matter. Because the airport authority, I think, has, like the UDC, has taken it upon itself to probably sell the land. I'm not saying that it sold the land, I'm saying that it seemed like the airport authority.
They most likely did.
Let them sell the land.
They most likely did, because according to an article published I do believe it was the Western Mirror, I'm not sure.
We're not hearing it. Grab the microphone.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. According to an article published by the Western Mirror, I believe, the Sandals International is ready to invest millions, I believe it was $60 million in the property, and waiting on the EIA, NEPA, to just give permission to do so. Now, for the community members, and what we have uncovered with the assistance of Jabem, is that this is a systemic issue that the island is facing. As black people, we died for this. We fought to protect our rights, to ensure that our nationality demands and sustains our rights as owners of the land. and we then employ members of the government, irrespective of which political party they are.
But that is only on paper.
Yeah, and
that is only on paper, Monique. That is only on paper, because in practice, and we see what is happening in practice already, is that, and you said it's systemic, and it is true.
And they're literally selling the resources that are limited. And the resources need to benefit, first and foremost, the people of Jamaica. And what we are saying now, that Sandals can earn millions of US dollars from this particular piece of land, but at the expense of our community. And the community members are saying no.
All right, so my broadcast assistant, Brianna White, just spoke with Sandals. Anyway, she said she was informed by the guest service manager at Sandals Montego Bay that we would have to speak to either the general manager or come help me here, Brianna. We have to speak with the general manager or the public relations manager, and they are off on Sundays. They don't have the mobile phone. So they say, so no, they don't have anyone we could speak with. Ask for the mobile phone. She get a baptism this morning, is our first morning. Brianna, ask for a mobile phone number. Tell them what's happening in the studio. Okay.
There's a lot to untangle regarding these land issues along the coastline, right?
All right. Hold on a sec, Devon. Come, Brianna. Just let me just get from her what, the conversation she had with Sandals. You look a tall army, so anyway, yes.
All right, so I spoke with the guest service manager, and he said that the PR will be the best person or general manager, but they're off today. So I was telling him that, we're here with the Flankers community and we're talking about the beach. So he knows the reason that we want to speak with them, but they said they're off on Sunday, so we can't get in touch.
Okay, so you'll go back now and ask for the mobile number? Yeah, thank you. Yes, please. All right, so she's going to ask for a mobile number. Yes, go ahead, Brian. Sorry, Brian. Go ahead, Devon.
Yeah, I mean, you see, this land rights issues along the coastline is one of the big issues here, because the Beach Control Act of 1956, right, is also one of the big problems that we're having. That we have legislation that strips Jamaicans of any inherent rights to access, the beach and use the sea. And as Monique talk about, these are natural resources that the people of the country should benefit from. Yes. But this act basically says, you, the Jamaican people, who lives on this island, you don't have any right to these resources. But it went even further. It gave anybody who own land that is adjoining the sea the right to enjoy the space. So it gives preferential rights to landowners to really use the resource, and then the government now reserve within itself the right to license, right, the resources to who they see fit. So they license these resources to all the hotels. There are now 366 licenses across the island, most of them hotel, villas, guest houses, to use the resources, which made $3.84 billion for this industry last year, right? So we are seeing, the resources of the island being, been pillaged by these ones, and right?
The
at the expense of the Jamaican people.
At the Jamaican people, and we do have fisherfolk in the studio with us this morning. In the studio with me this morning, and this is something egregious is happening. It's insidious in a way, and it's happening across Jamaica, where communities that develop around the sea and around the beaches, and this is Jamaica's history. How communities develop around the beach and the sea, and how how people make their living in those communities from whatever the sea put out, whether it is fish, or whether it is sand, or whether it is stone or marble. It don't matter, but people develop a whole industry around the sea and around land. Now, across Jamaica, more than any other Caribbean country and any other country in the world that I know about, there is a frightening thing happening where this small island that is surrounded by water, that those who control the decision-making processes in politics have weaponized a colonial era document coming out of the 1950s that says Jamaican people don't own nothing, especially when it comes to land and sea. And they have weaponized that document against the people of Jamaica. It is not a partisan thing. The PNP do it and the JLP do it. They have been doing it for years. And they're doing it to what end, we don't even know. It is, I mean, we can have an academic discussion about this, but we don't really know. That's another thing we don't know. So what's the end result of this? Now, in the studio with me, scores of people who community workers and activists and just ordinary members of a community who have lived off the sea, lived off this land for so long, are about to lose access to the Providence Beach. This is why they are here. They're coming in from Montego Bay. They're coming in from Flankers. They're coming in from the surrounding communities. And one of the things we're trying to do is to get to the bottom of why and how, generally speaking, but this morning it's specifically the Providence Beach in Flankers. You have gone again, and you have spoken to who this time? Oh, the same person. And they've said what? They won't take any calls. Can he call them and make me know? He's going to send an email. All right. So they're going to send an email to, really and truly, this is, but thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good work. Let me hear from the fisherfolk in the studio now. Who we have, Monique? Sorry, my bad. Ebert. Yes, go ahead.
Patrick Ebert, sorry, yes, and Mr. O'Neill here, who was
speaking before. Right. Yes.
So we'll start with.
Let me hear how you are affected. What by what's happening and what's about to happen.
Okay. Good morning. I'm Patrick Ebert from Franca Citizen. Yeah, we have that beach from way back 35 years. Long time we have that beach. We used to use that beach. We kids go there, go bathe. We old lady, we old father. All citizens from Flanker used to go there. Norwood, all around community used to go there, go bathe. And I think we get one storm. We get one of those storms. I don't remember about this storm.
Gilbert?
Yeah, I think Gilbert. And from Gilbert, certain little things what was there, like facility was there, get demolition. From that, Sandals now start dump the garbage on the beach. And from once they start dump garbage at a spot where people like will frequent, they go eventually evacuate that space. And then as come them get the opportunity now.
So where the dumping was happening, this was, as we heard before, this was a pathway to the beach or part of the beach?
Yes. From the
it was a pathway to the beach?
Yes.
Okay.
So them just continue
the main entrance.
Yes.
The main entrance to the public beach.
Yes.
So it cannot lock off the entrance.
Well, at the entrance.
But we were using a different
the microphone.
Yes.
Okay, so the main entrance, which is where you'd be able to drive and park through, that was the area where they were dumping the byproducts of their refurbishing efforts through the years. And we, the members of the community, was using a smaller foot access area to utilize the beach over that time.
Okay, so you found another entrance to the beach,
right?
And so that entrance is now under threat.
Exactly. There even airport authority put up a sign there recently that said no. Let me get the exact sign. I believe they said no light. Oh, wait a minute.
Them about here for say whatever.
No trespassing. No trespassing. Yes. No trespassing sign was placed there.
Right.
Imagine, that your beach that you're using from such time, suddenly a sign went up that says no trespassing. So
we see these signs going up. Yes. Because once you trespass, but Devon, it goes back. All right, and when you talk about criminalizing,
one more point I want to say before that. So even after the sign, because, as Jamaican people, if we're using a space, it is unlikely that we would adhere to a no trespass. So as Jamaican people, we would disregard the no trespassing sign. But what we have found is that over the years, wet concrete was dumped in the small access points. So now even vehicles are limited to go over there to park just off the road. So just these little...
So can you access the beach at all now?
Yes, you can, but it's just that the land is not level.
Yeah,
right. So you have to be careful.
Treacherous.
Right, to the vehicles that would enter our park.
The main entrance, again, different from the beach, The 32 bunker rooms that near standards going to build in the whopping water, the channel way for us when sea rough. That is our channel way to come up to the beach. When they build those 32 bunker house, we have no more entrance to our beach.
So how does this affect the fisher folk to understand the
32 bunkers, it go push closer out to the breaking reef. So there's no boat can enter from that side. And the sea rough, we have to enter from down to White House side. That is the biggest channel to come up in the breaking water side.
So how is this affecting?
To come inshore to that side.
Yes, go ahead.
And if standards get the opportunity to build those bunkers, all fishermen goose cook. Just different from the beach. All man who have fishing boat that go around goose cook.
How many people are talking about?
When the sea rough, there's certain channels you can't venture through when the weather is bad.
How many people we're talking about?
Just to explain, to give a background, because O'Neill had to explain this to me as well. And the channel he's referencing is a break in the reef, an area where the boats are able to pass through when the water is too rough and you wouldn't be able to go over the reef. So this is it's almost like a natural gateway.
So when them put build the bunker house, they're going to block that gateway for us.
One gateway is already blocked.
And now they want to take over the next gateway.
The Sandals.
That is Sandals Royal.
The Sandals Royal. This is
and now they want to take one now, Sandals Mobile.
And now the larger one, which is the one that you have to use as the sea gets rougher, because you cannot venture over. Your boats would not be able to pass. So that means you'll be stuck outside in the open water during rough seas. And they're saying this new bunker house would then block that channel.
It's going to take over more of that inshore space for us to venture to the beach.
So they would not be able to come in.
So when the bunker house there now, the first bunker house build, when they catch certain time at night, you have security pan jet ski. If we're about them, if they come through the channel, they might tell me so I can't pass. My boat can't drive pan road.
You have security on jet ski?
Yes, man, I patrol the water at night out there and the restricted place there, so we have no right to pass there, no more to come up to the beach, where my boat partner up to have the beach. So when you give them the privilege now to build much more bunker house down at that side now, that is a bigger, the more wider space now, where you have to come up now if sea rough now. That is the biggest channel. If sea rough, the matter sea rough, you can't just blow through that channel. If the sea rough, there's 2 more channels, you can't venture through there. You're sure of a swim. I'm a good captain of a boat, operate boat from 1996. I operate fishing boat. And we can tell you this, all who operate fishing boat know that. That is the best channels down is where Kennedy is. At White House, where you can venture through, and if they build those 32 bunkers now, we are at Providence Beach now. They are going to start it from land to out, push it back to the breaking reef. So where is the channel to us to go to the beach? If in case emergency, we have to use that big channel. We can't enter the next one, because certain time of night, if they pass through, they might tell us, yeah, man, ride up on jet ski.
So what is, I keep asking what, but we have other fisher folk who want to talk about. Let me hear your own experience. What's your name?
David Walker.
David Walker, yeah.
On the beach now, where Sanders gonna put the bunker house. Inside, towards the hotel now, that's where the deeper part of water is. Going out, it's very shallow.
Mm-hmm.
So when them put it out, them out to the, close to the reef going out, and block off the inside channel.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So
this is what O'Neill is talking about.
Right. Yeah. So up by Royal, where we get blackout already, they show us how they set Royal. So down there, so now, down at Sanders Mobile, it's very bigger, but the amount of houses they want to put up, I go block we out completely from the access of the channel.
And how many fisher folk we're talking about?
A lot.
That about how much?
That would be the
more than 30 fishermen from White House to Providence Beach. More than over 30 fishermen.
But even the ones from Harvey Beach as well. As I said, that emergency nature created that passage because they would need it to come through. So all the fishermen within that area have to use that channel once it is too perilous to stay out in the open waters. So again, and this is not something that was considered by the EIA, how it would affect the fisherfolk. Now at the meeting, the fisherfolk did highlight the point that years gone by, the tourism industry used to buy the catch from the fisherfolk. And so that was also helping to sustain that industry. No, they don't buy it from the fisher folk.
Where they buy it from?
Rainforest, because rainforest I get to understand.
Let us leave it, please. Okay. We can't say enough things, but some things we don't want to say right today.
So we find that, again, this is... we do know that Jamaicans, we love our independence. We don't always want to work for someone else. And with the expansion, the ever-growing and ever-permitted expansion of the tourism industry, we find that the small and the medium-sized industry is being stifled. And here our government is not protecting our interests. We don't always want to be your pool boys. Allow and foster the growth and development of the small industry. There are many families that love and teach and ensure that their generations to come are fisher folk. And if you limit the access and remove access to the sea.
This is my question. What is the thinking? What is the long-term plan? What's the thinking behind this? I'm having a difficult time with it, because as I said before, I've been on this for a while. And we're not winning.
We aren't. And we see that...
Yes, Devon.
Yeah, man.
Can you hold? Remember, please make a point of what you're saying. Make a note. Let me just take a quick break and come back. Just to say this, though, I have from a very well-informed and highly placed source that knowing the system as they know the system, neither the general manager nor the PR manager of the hotel would take a day off, even if they are not physically on property, so that this very highly placed source, very credible, well-placed source, has said to me, you just got a 649. All right, so let me go to Devon. Devon, as we went into the break, you were making a point. Go ahead.
Yes, the point is around, we're looking at why is this happening, right? Who is really doing this, right? So what we can really say here is that public resources, right, for cheap, right, is being handed over to the tourism industry to make billions and billions of dollars at the expense of the Jamaican people. Right? So this is what we are witnessing here. And I want to mention that our research have also shown that where Sanders Montego Bay is, those lands are also owned by the Commissioner of Lands. And then this projected site is owned by the Airport Authority of Jamaica, which make these properties really owned by the people of Jamaica, right? And these resources have been used by the tourism industry, right, to make money for these entities. So we need to really understand that. And we need that our government needs to really address that to the Jamaican people. We are unable to understand, right, how much monies are being paid by overwater bungalow when they use the sea, destroy the underground ecology, right, now blocking all the shipping channels. This is why this is part of the suit that we filed to protect the fishing folks' rights to these channels, because of their livelihood are going to be impacted. We're asking the court to also rule on that. And that is part of the case. But I also want to look at, these so-called overwater bungalows, because this is where Section 60 of the United Nations, Convention on the Law of the Seas comes into play, Because while this is within Jamaican territorial waters, Jamaica can allow for development in the spaces, but they can also violate the rights of their people, to use these spaces. So you can't block channels that people use, in the sea, despite you have a right to allow for development in the sea under Section 60. And so we also think that this is an issue that we need to take a look at, that the Jamaican government may be violating the rights of its people.
And the seabed
put under
the seabed authorities right here in Jamaica. Jamaica signed on to the extent that the seabed authorities here, but we have found that the United Nations on a whole, seabed authority and all of them really have no teeth right now. And this is where the problem is, that when you talk about the violation of human rights, this is happening across the world, and it is being done by almost every government now, because they recognize that there is no body in place that can hold them to account, and hence we see what is happening here in Jamaica with people basic human rights. So the point then is an ongoing court case and what happens in the meantime, and which I think is commendable. And let me just say once again that Jabem is doing a really brilliant job of taking these issues and placing them in front of the courts. But so in the meantime, because one, there was a meeting, and which we saw, well publicized. So what decisions were taken out of that meeting? And then there's a sign that is saying no trespassing. So in other words, this is the reality on the ground right now, isn't it? So what in the meantime? Before you answer, let me just go to, who do we have online, Monique?
Okay, so we have one of the historians of the space.
All right, so why am I getting this?
Legalize.
Not sure why I'm getting this, but we do have. That's Cashbot. All right, go ahead and tell me who we have online.
Okay, so we have one of the historians of the space, Lenny, who would be sharing some context with you.
All right, it should be okay, but I'm just not. All right, let me do this. I think it's my board. All right, yeah, go ahead. What's her name?
Okay, so this is Lenny, Mr. Blake.
Oh,
from the
Mr. Blake.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great.
Yes, I agree.
So you're a historian, and you know this area very well. We're almost out of time, so I'm going to give you a chance to tell us a little bit about Providence Beach and that whole area in terms of the historical context.
Yes, really. I'm a fisherman. I know that beach over 60 years now.
Yes.
I'm 73-year-old. When I come at Flanker, I was 13-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that beach, and it did occupy by a lot of people who were swimming. And
we're not hearing him online.
Within those times.
All right, so I think if you're online, you're not going to hear him, but only because we have not conferenced the call. But we're hearing him okay. Yeah, because he's on WhatsApp. Yes, go ahead. So you say
yes.
From you were 13 years old,
yes.
you've been in this space, and you're 70 odd now.
Yes, 73.
73.
So 60 years I know that place.
Mm-hmm.
And we were swimming there when we were small kids coming along, and the bigger people there go swimming along, you know.
Mm-hmm.
People from Paradise, people from Norwood, people from Glendevon, people from over Mill, and a few people come from over Salt Spring too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mr. Michael saw that we need a beach. And down in the 70s, that man, he get tractor and he clean up that beach and he fence up that beach, and we pass it as Providence Beach.
Mm-hmm. That was in the 70s?
Yes, the fishermen, they were fishing up by the place you call Dog Beach.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a private place, that was airport premises.
Right.
And he heard that it's airport premises, and he told us that all people have to go migrate from there and come down to this beach, because this beach would be theirs.
To Providence.
Providence Beach,
Mm-hmm.
otherwise named Flanker Providence Beach. And from Bay Rock Hotel, control that hotel down there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be down there, we and Bay Rock, right? Bush Stewart buy Bayrock Hotel. After him buy Bayrock Hotel, he buy it about down in the 80s early.
Mm-hmm.
After him buy it, remember his hotel and cottages, him start to get 112 of the cottage premises, break down the cottages and make refilled. All those stuff come over to the public beach and dump up. They make some high mountain down there. No entrance wasn't there anymore.
It's like a place in China called the Forbidden City, because it's exactly what happened in the Forbidden City.
You look what happened. It's one man forbidden it, not the community.
So
they take away the sand off the beach.
All right, so we don't know who take the sand. We're not going to say we know who take the sand, right?
No, they take it. I'm telling you, they take the sand. We didn't call anybody. Yes, they take the sand, and after the sand take, we did have some building over there which were building to change your clothes, place to bathe, toilets, because the toilets they were still there until now.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So when the sea rough now, the sea would come in, and the time when it get the wickedest part of vandalizing is Gilbert.
Mm-hmm.
After Gilbert come and those buildings get shake down.
I can't. One of the things I cannot do, even though you may have a knowledge, right, of this, and I'm not going to question you on the knowledge, but I can't say people did things when people are not here to defend themselves. All right.
No, I don't
only because it's a commercial radio
I'm
station.
telling you what I know.
Yeah, right. So long and short of it, I wish you were in studio, because that way we could have an eye-to-eye conversation. But you're on the phone and you're telling us what others did. But the people you're talking about are not here to defend themselves, and this is why I'm moving you along from there.
Another member.
Right, in recent times, so that I understand you. So they haven't turned up to those meetings. But what you have done for us, though, is to put this thing in perspective, to say how long this beach has been functioning there and how it came into being, which is to say there was no public beach, and Michael Manley in the 70s get the bulldozer and the place, dig it down and say, the people who have to come down here, and this are the free beach, and this are the public beach.
So it was a place occupied. It did occupied by citizens.
Yes. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. I wish he was in the studio.
Yes,
thank you so much. All right. Listen, one court case, not one case in the court already. We cannot manage another one, and we don't own the station. So, just to say, all right. So, Dr. Devon Taylor. So it's 8 minutes going up to 10 o'clock, and we're totally out of time. So I'm just going to go around now to say, but before I do that, Devon. So the case tomorrow comes up in court. So who is Jabem? Who is Jabem? Who is named on the case?
So the defendants are the Airport Authority of Jamaica, the Commissioner of Lands, and then we have a Lee Riviera entity, a private entity, which one of the tracks that we use to access the beach also runs over the land that they own according to the land registration records. So all these tracks and roadways that leads to the beach, we are seeking to protect those, for not just
Sandals is not a defendant.
Sandals is not a defendant because the lands are not owned by Sandals according to the current records. So in these prescriptive rights cases, we have to take the landowners. But we know, right, from the application that was placed in NEPA and from the EIA, that all this development, all this hotel, the over 10 bungalows on land and the 18 in the water, this is, Sandals Resort International development. but they do not own the land. So
and let me just underscore again that we have been trying all morning to get Sandals online, to get them on the phone, to make a comment. We have been trying all morning for that, and we haven't been able to get anyone from Sandals to comment. And it's an ongoing issue, so hopefully we get somebody from Sandals shortly. But in terms of the defendant, Sandals is not named, even though there are other ways in which Jabem and the community. But you were also called to a meeting. And was that meeting called by Sandals, Monique? The town hall meeting?
The town hall, okay. So the town hall meeting was the report of the NEPA. And so they were supposed to inform the communities, through the various community.
Sorry, did NEPA say in that meeting that Sandals was the entity that was going to be building and Sandals was acquiring the property? Did Sandals' name come up at all in that meeting?
Sandals did not. NEPA made no comments in the context of that meeting.
So how did you know it was Sandals?
The EIA report was commissioned by Sandals.
Okay.
So the persons that represented NEPA did state that they would be able to document any of our comments, concerns, but they gave no response. Okay. So nobody was there to basically respond to the community from the various organizations that put together this report, are proposed, and are here in the report.
Okay.
Let me just add quickly to that yes, it is public knowledge. There's an application number. And I want us to be very transparent here, because in protecting the community and also the station, application 2022-08017 EP00212 is an application made to NEPA, right, by Sandals Resort International to do this development. So we want to be crystal clear about that. They're unequivocally that this is a Sandals Resort International development project there. And they commission two environmental entities to run this on their behalf. One of them is Environmental Solution Limited and Technical and Environmental Management Network Limited. These two entities are the ones who are doing all the EIA development work, right? And NEPA provided the forum for them to come there and present. Yes, members from the organization of Sandals should have been there. It is their project to deal with this matter, but these two entities are the technical ones that handles all the questions right there. So, subsequently NEPA has also all the comments that the community have made, right, are also published on NEPA's site, okay? And many organizations, JABEM, Jamaica Environmental Trust, we have Stronger Caribbean Together, and individuals have also written to NEPA, talking about the projects and, why this project should not be built there, providing, asking more questions, of them. So all this was done. The EIA seeks to get a deeper understanding from the community. We did so and we rejected. We have not heard. I'm aware also that there's another survey that is going on in the community as well. So we are just, being very proactive, to protect the beach. And the only mechanism that the public have right now is to take the matter to the court under Jamaican customary law.
We're out of time, Devon, but to say that and the court, and this case comes up in the court tomorrow. Which court and when?
This is going to be in the St. James
Parish Court.
Go ahead,
James
Manny.
Parish Court at 10 o'clock?
At 10 a.m., right.
All right.
And there's a press conference after the court. There's going to be a press conference, so the community will be there.
All right. Thank you all. Thank you, Monique. Thank you to the Flankers community who have come in so much. My broadcast assistant who did a fabulous job, Brianna White. Good baptism, great work. Big, you don't see your battery finish. Plug in the computer.
I have plugged it in. I was waiting on it to recharge.
Oh, okay. So you got firing last week?
Yes, I'm going to bring back a Wrigley's for you.
Well, you see, the Wrigley's is one thing, but you should tell me, say you got a firing star.
I didn't know.
When?
The week before.
Really?
Yes. And
My guess like me, no?
And that is how the collision conversation came.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay then.
You need to apologize.
I apologize sincerely. I take it back. So we're in foreign where you said? Or we're not supposed to know?
No, man, I was actually in Maryland. I went to an
In where?
In Maryland.
Oh, in Maryland. Everybody have to hear me, and not just me alone. I wonder where they are, I wonder what you did there.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, it's no secret. I went to an event that a friend of mine, who you also know very well.
Who that?
You remember Lenny Sports?
Oh, Lenny, yes.
Yeah. So he did this family fun day.
Okay.
In Maryland. It was a family fun day and wine festival. And,
wine festival?
Yeah, I went.
And you're talking about Wrigley, what the wine?
I would do it. All right. You know.
Yeah, this is not work.
Yeah.
No, sir. Mm-mm. Anyway,
no sense
wine festival.
And not even a bottle.
And not even a small tester, but not even a small big A.
That's not right.
That's
no,
something.
No, I need to apologize.
You need to apologize. I'll take it.
And yes, and sincerely too.
Yes. Yeah. How was the wine festival, by the way, the Grudge?
No, it was good. It was hampered by rain, though. That cold front that moved across.
Oh, yes. That caused
Jamaica.
Yeah.
The whole
Florida and so on. Mm-hmm. That caused come did you think a rebel salute you gone? Come did they say a rebel salute?
Oh, no, I don't have that kind of luxury, right? Mr. Rebel, don't invite me to these luxurious events.
Rebel. So this will take about half an hour with Tony Rebel. Rebel.
No.
Big A say you don't invite him to these kinds of events, even though it was postponed.
No, me too. Only the local ones may get invitation to. The foreign one,
okay.
Me apparently not good enough for that. So.
You hear that, Rebel? I'm not saying anything because we have this conversation already, right? I mean, did I expect you to fix it? And first of all, Big A did they're foreign, in the same country. Anyway, you see me take it, me deal with it for you. May I just say good morning to Stephanie Marley. Say hi to Stephanie, she's listening.
Hey, Steph.
Look at that. No,
Everything
Stephanie, are you alone? Get them hit. Oh, goodness, all the accent. Stephanie, I can't tell you. Listen, when you don't have to call Big A, because honestly, hey, Steph. Well, anyway. So it was good though, Big A. In spite of the cold and the weather and all of that, it was good.
Yeah, man, it certainly will grow over time.
Yeah.
As people get to get accustomed to the brand and
wine festival.
What it offers.
So what the wine festival? What format it took?
It was. We're in the middle of wine people country. A white people country.
Right. So it's top shelf wine or just people make them wine and come over?
No, it was a variety of wines, including top shelf. But we had to make it affordable too because we wanted,
Right, yes.
Of whatever, affordability.
I would like to come next year. I'd like to broadcast.
You want to broadcast live
Mr. Nick Evans, I want to go and broadcast live from the wine festival next year this time.
Right, but I'll tell you something, it might be wine and jerk next time.
You just leave me upon a limb.
That's right. Having issues with my computer this month.
Right, and that's why I go and talk for you and I say, what I must do?
Yeah,
what do you want me to do? I could put in back some music.
Yeah. Some music, I don't understand.
But I can't even find, right now I can't even find a thing there. Uncle Ernie. Unless you want me to put in Jimmy Cliff, oh my goddess.
Anyone will work.
Alright, it's number 12. So we can charge a computer before you come in?
No, I did. It was fully charged last night. And then what happened is that I woke up this morning doing some work on it.
Okay.
It was not plugged in. So it ran out. And now I am.
Alright. So until Big A battery charge, Let me do it. Let me do this. See you next week. Thank you so much. Listen, not me. It's big battery for the computer battery run out. Thank you so much for listening. The big it's him gone for something else. So I think he's gone for a CD, or a thumb drive. He's probably gone for a thumb drive or some drive. Wait, what am I do? Take the time signal. No, you don't really have a time signal. Your music now work, and you just don't know what to do. But if you have somebody like me, who you're relieving, then I'll just go on ad-lib and keep it. So welcome to the Sunday Sunshine. And I'll take here we go. Whoa.